What's going on, brothers? Civil here. Now, before we get into the video, I want you guys right now to go into the description below and drop a follow over on my Twitch. You guys can watch me play live. I'm consistently a top 25 weekend league player every single weekend. I once was a pro player earlier this year, but I'm not playing competitively anymore, just streaming a whole lot and doing YouTube, of course. In this video, we're going to be talking about the 3 new Ultimate Legends. Now, if you guys did not tell already from the thumbnail, those are going to be Derrick Brooks, Reggie White, and Mr. Jonathon Ogden. One of these cards is an absolute bust. There's no reason for him to be out there, and one of these cards is honestly a bit of a sleeper. Okay, I think a lot of people are kind of underrating him or just not recognizing him right away. Although I will say, I think it's obvious that you guys are not super excited about these 3, and it makes sense. We all wanted Sean Taylor. Okay, I'm going to talk about that a little bit later in the video as well. So without any further ado, let's jump right into the video and break down these 3 cards. If you want to take your Madden game to the next level, make sure you check out my offensive and defensive ebooks over on acemadden.com. Links will be in the description below. Now, before we get into it, make sure you guys, if you guys are new to the channel, hit the freaking subscribe button. We are on the road to 2,000, and the support you guys are giving me is absolutely overwhelming. Also, hit the little like button. Super helpful in the YouTube algorithm, and it helps me directly with that, alright? So, with that being said, once again, like I already said, it's going to be Derrick Brooks, Reggie White, and Jonathon Ogden, and these are very underwhelming overall. Okay, I'm not gonna sit here and lie to nobody. It is underwhelming. This is not Sean Taylor, like I said. It's not exactly who we wanted, but nonetheless, these are the 3. Now, these came out at 8:06 p.m. Eastern time, and they're coming out tomorrow, June 13th, I believe at 10 a.m. or so. They drop somewhere around that range, 10 a.m. Eastern time, 7 a.m. Pacific time, whatever. But with that being said, let's start breaking them down. Now, you guys see I'm going to have different tabs open for each player. We have Derrick Brooks, Reggie White, and Jonathon Ogden, and we're going to be talking about every single player and comparing them to, or actually going into their actual traits and whatnot, and getting a little bit more of a deeper dive into them. So with that being said, let's start looking at Mr. Derrick Brooks. He's not super exciting. There's definitely worse options. There's definitely a lot of worse options. And, I mean, he's definitely cool for a Bucks theme team. But that season, everything like that, it's going to be very, very frustrating watching him get picked up on blocks and, get driven down the field. Especially, I mean, he has a 77 strength as well. So, I mean, he's immediately going to lose ground as soon as he engages in a lot of these blocks. This 90 speed's cool. 91 acceleration is cool. There's a lot of better options you can do still. 98 tackles, obviously cool. The 98 play rec is really cool. Obviously, never, ever going to have this guy rushing the passer. 51 power move, 58 finesse move. Never, ever are you going to have Derrick Brooks rushing the passer. I'm not a huge fan of this card. Obviously, once again, for a theme team, he's perfect. If you guys have a Bucks theme team, I'm the Bucks Club champion. If you guys have a Bucks theme team, he's a great card for you. But if you guys are just making a weekend league team trying to pick up the best players, he's not great. And looking at his actual card right here, we can pop up his power up. And I mean, looking at his traits, he has clutch. He has high motor, which is cool, and then he has big hitter and strips ball. So, or actually, he does not have strips ball, which is actually another thing that's just kind of disappointing. He does not. That's one of his traits. He doesn't have strips ball, which is frustrating. Going to his abilities, one thing I am curious about, because he'll have 4 ability slots with that 99 overall, is whether or not he's going to get the enforcer ability. And I'm not totally sure. If we take a look at his highest upgrade right here, we're going to see that he stops at about 88 hit power. So it's safe to assume he should hit that 90 hit power threshold and be able to get that enforcer. Although it's not a done deal. You never know. But he should be for sure hitting that 90 hit power, being able to get that. But once again, that Derrick Brooks just isn't great. Although with that being said, the biggest letdown of these 3 players is going to be this Reggie White. And I don't totally understand why EA would come out with a golden ticket Reggie White and then have another 99 Ultimate Legend Reggie White. This doesn't make sense from a business standpoint. This doesn't make sense from a content, like giving people what they want standpoint, giving people just variety. It really makes no sense at all. They already have a 99 golden ticket that's been out for a few weeks now, if not a month or so. And now they're just giving us another card on top of, like, there's so many better options they could choose. And once again, I don't get this at all. There's so many better options, such as like Sean Taylor. People are complaining that we as a community would love to see a new Sean Taylor, and we're just not getting one. There's so many better options to do here, and they just give us a card who already has a 99. And if we pull up Reggie White right here, that 99 golden ticket, this one will be a little bit better. Obviously, I mean, he has 84 speed here. This base card has 83. So obviously, yes, once you power him up, it will be better. But nonetheless, like, it just doesn't really make sense to have this to have this card and then have him as well. There's no logic behind that from really any standpoint. You know, we're just flooding the market with an extra card that no one really wants. No one's excited about this. There's not a single soul who's excited about Reggie White. With that being said, though, taking a quick look at his attributes, or his traits rather, he is a very, very good pass rusher to have on your team. With high motor, he has all of these. Big hitter and stretch ball. The one thing that's a little bit frustrating about him is going to be the speed. He's not going to hit 90 speed, which is going to be, you know, disappointing. You want to get as fast as people out there, especially when you're rushing the passer. So it'd be very, very nice to have him hitting that 90 speed. He won't be, but you can definitely work around it and work with it. Especially if you have an Eagles theme team, this is a good card to be able to add. He's going to be better if you use Reggie White, the golden ticket right now. He is going to be a card you can add to him. It's just there's just so many better options from a content standpoint in terms of what we could have gotten, and instead we get this card right here, which just no one's excited about. No one's excited about at all, and it's frustrating. Now, the final card is actually a card where I feel like people are kind of sleeping on this right now. This is Jonathon Ogden or Ogden. I'm not sure which one, how you pronounce that. We're going to see 6'9", 99 strength, 95 awareness, 98 pass block, 99 pass block power, 94 finesse, 98 run block, and you just see 98 run block power, 95 run block finesse. And the power up, you're going to be able to get those to all 99 basically, especially once you get them chemed up, of course. And so with that being said, really, he's going to be the best right tackle in the game. And to show that, I want to jump in right here over on Mutthead. Boom, let's go to right tackles right here and take a look at what we're working with. And oops, let me hit filter. And take a look at what we're working with in terms of who we have here. And I mean, you're going to see immediately that one of the biggest things that's going to stand out to you guys, or definitely should stand out to you guys, is going to be the enormous strength difference he's going to have. Now, we're going to see the next closest, or actually, let me make sure I sort this correctly. Boom. Oops. There we go. So the next closest is 97 stock. We're not going to find anybody else in the game who has such high pass block, or rather high strength, to go with that, along with these amazing pass blocking stats. And these really are phenomenal pass blocking stats in terms of, I mean, look, it's going to be 99s across the board with that 99 strength. And something that goes super overlooked. I feel like people are still overlooking this, even though it's been something that it's been a thing for a few years. And it's something that we've talked about a lot this year. The competitive community has. I know Zan's been a huge advocate behind this. And let me get back to Jonathon Ogden here. And just clicking on any card, we're going to see he's 340 pounds. Now, I'm not sure which secondary positions he's going to have, but if he has a center secondary position and you throw him at center, he's going to do an amazing job against those power specialist D tackles. You know, if someone has like a Chris Jones there, if someone has a Warren Sapp there, if someone has a mean Joe Green there, he's going to do a phenomenal job. Now, the one thing that I do worry about with his physicals, right, is this 6'9" right here. That's worrisome. And the reason I mention that is due to the fact that a lot of the quarterbacks right now, you know, Lamar, Michael Vick, and RG3, especially Michael Vick, you know, you put gunslinger on him, you try lowballing something over the middle of the field, he's going to get hit in the back of the head a fair amount. You know, he's going to get hit in the back of the head more often than most people. And I don't know yet, I haven't tested if it's going to be a significant amount, you know, what that change is, if you'll actually even notice it. But just based off of that, just based off the fact that he's a good 3, 4, 5 inches taller than a lot of people, he's going to naturally just be a little bit higher up, and that trajectory is going to hit him more, which might be frustrating. I don't think it'll be too big of a deal. It's kind of being nitpicky. But one huge thing with this insanely high run block is that as soon as he is able to latch onto somebody, that along with the strength, along with the weight, you know, because it is a combination of those three things, the rating, your weight, and your strength, that he's going to gain ground a lot. So if you run the ball a lot, if you run, you know, dive, stretches, anything like that, inside zone, he's going to gain ground really, really well. So this is actually a card that I think if you have if you play weekend league, you're just trying to build the best team, whatever, not even a Ravens theme team, just a team, he's a card where you're going to want. He's going to do a really, really, really good job. And it's hard to get excited about offensive linemen, don't get me wrong. I'm the first one to say that. But he's going to do a good job compared to what a lot of these other people are able to do, especially in terms of right tackles right now in the game. He's by far the best one. So with that being said, guys, that's going to wrap up this video. You guys are new to the channel. Make sure you guys hit the freaking sub button for more content related to Madden 20 and going into the Madden 21 season. We have everything you want right here on the channel. Hit the like button, and I'll see you guys all next time. If you want to take your Madden game to the next level, make sure you check out my offensive and defensive ebooks over on acemadden.com. Links will be in the description below.